Hey everyone, welcome back. We've got some big news today. Remember duetnightabyss? Now, I loved their betas earlier this year, and guess what? Their latest livestream just dropped the official release date. October 28th this year. And I know some of you will ask me, yeah, but isn't this a gacha game? Well, guess again. The next massive reveal on that stream was it's a gacha game no longer. No more banner systems. All characters and weapons will now be farmable in-game, all in a most familiar way. Interested? I definitely am. Let's take a closer look at what other big changes DNA has in store for us. I'll be splitting them into easy points. Now, we take a closer look at the no more gacha banners. They promise that all characters and weapons can now be completely earned through gameplay. While the last beta had a 100% guarantee on the first copy of a unit on banner, you still had to worry about a 50-50 loss if you loved a character and wanted to invest in more copies. Or if you were playing casually, you even had to wonder if you would get the character in time before their banner leaves. With no more banners, this also means no more FOMO. You don't have to worry about missing out on, say, Psyche's unique ability to fly and experience the world in a new way. You know exactly what you will get now when you grind, guaranteed. And you're free to chase after each character whenever you want to. Now, because the gacha system has been removed, you might be wondering, how exactly do you farm characters and gear now, right? Well, there's two main ways. The first is a simple, straightforward farm. The covert commission system lets you open a special letter item at end of the mission that has what you want. All characters and gear are available at all times. You farm for Rebecca's secret letter. Opening it can only give you fragments for Rebecca and no other character instead. Weapons come as parts as you can assemble in crafting, and characters come as fragments that you can craft when you get enough of them. There's also improving the UI for these so that you can immediately tell what item the secret letter contains at a glance. And for those that don't want to deal with the grind, well, don't worry, you can always purchase characters and weapons directly from the in-game shop. Now, they are identical to the craftable counterparts. And because each character and weapon comes in fragments and parts, buying them outright will only cost as much as the missing amount of items you need to craft. The more you farm beforehand, the cheaper it will be. And if you farmed it all yourself, well, it's completely free. And if you're worried about clearing missions solo for these, well, don't worry, because you can summon AI teammates automatically in any mission to help you too. Now, next up is the stamina system. If you're a collector, you'll be able to grind and have a full roster over time without spending a single cent. But even if you collect them all, doesn't that mean an energy or stamina system will get in the way? I mean, it was a gacha game originally after all, right? Well, the energy and stamina system is also going away. You can now farm as much as you want for whoever you want, whenever you want. In fact, this was a huge pain point last beta, especially if you were interrupted, say, mid-mission between waves, with a prompt you had no stamina left. I'm glad our feedback made it through, and I guess you could say this is a classic devs listened moment, where they agreed a free-to-grind game doesn't really make sense with a stamina system. Now, this is absolutely amazing for those that may have less time to play, with no pressure to constantly log on. Can you say players winning? And for those more familiar with gacha games, we almost always use stamina to gain account rank EXP to unlock later game content. In DNA, this is called Trial EXP. With no more stamina, Trial EXP needs to come from somewhere, right? It now comes primarily instead from character collection and progression, gear collection and progression, as well as main story quests, side quests, and some from dailies. So it accurately reflects your core account progression instead of how many days you log in to do your dailies. Trial rank will still be tied to unlocking later game content and other account-wide bonuses as an incentive to level up. And for those familiar with last beta, you know those quality of life functions they added like mission auto repeats or drop rate doublers, triplers, 10 times, etc? Well, those are all here to stay to streamline your resource and gear farming. You can save these up to use on whenever you want. Because the entire gacha system is being removed and all gear can be farmed whenever, DNA has decided to scrap the tiered rarity for weapons that normally dictated the baseline strength of them. Say a gold weapon was stronger than a purple weapon of the same archetype, or etc. Instead, they will focus on making all weapons viable in later game content. This will actually be tested in one more beta before launch at some point in the near future. You no longer have to worry about a purple weapon you like being immediately replaced in endgame by a gold variant. Investing into weapons you enjoy is no longer a risky gamble. This puts the power back in the player's hands to decide their loadout. Now, you might also ask, if they're scrapping all of these gacha mechanics and overhauling so many systems to make it more player-friendly, then where's the monetization going to come from? Cosmetics. They're going all in on more cosmetics. Purely aesthetics too, no pay-to-win benefits on the paid cosmetics. In fact, they've stepped up their game and are continuously polishing the base character models and the skins for release. Expect even better looking additions once the game goes live in October. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again, duetnightabyss is a beautiful game. While it advertises itself on its grind-friendly mechanics, I've always felt its strengths lies best in its insane world design aesthetic within its anime genre. Combined with its top-tier storytelling, trust me, I've played many gachas, so I know, the characters in the world actually feel compelling and believable. They've actually decided to kick this up a notch with better textures and lighting, more props, details, more optimization, a warmer and worn feel to cities so everything feels more alive. This also carries over into better cinematics. Not only are the better details carrying over to scripted content, but they're also remaking multiple scenes for a better presentation, angles, and dialogue exchange based off of the feedback we gave last beta. Now you might reach this last section down here and saw the title about new playable characters and wonder why, of course, isn't there supposed to be more playable characters? This is different. The story of DNA is told from two different perspectives in this war-torn world. Previously, the protagonists were only playable during story quests, but will now be added to the character roster for general gameplay as well. This enforces that the protagonists are actually capable combatants instead of being detached from the core gameplay loop. And now, the movement system. Some of you have probably seen enough content from DNA in the past and recognize the helix jump. Some might also wonder if getting around this way is too tedious. Well, they're adding a dedicated input for helix jumps too, to reduce hand fatigue while playing. Keys are now fully remappable to your taste, so customize to your heart's content. They also have added a sprint mode toggle, which allows you to remain in sprint after 2 seconds without needing to constantly hold it down. While I personally prefer the original, more options are always nice. And finally, well, what good is a grind game without playing with friends? All content is now co-op playable content, and not just specific mission types like in the past. The gigantic player hub in Ice Lake Plaza? Yeah, you could see your friends there too. But what if you don't want to play co-op? Don't worry, all content can also be done solo, and there will also be a toggle to play solo exclusively to if you don't want others joining your missions. Now, mobile was soft tested last beta and was honestly a bit rough. In light of this, the mobile experience has been completely overhauled to be a lot more stable and better UI arrangement per player feedback. Expect a simultaneous launch of DNA on both PC and mobile in October. They're aiming to get much better FPS this time while maintaining clear and functional graphics. Yes, mobile players will be able to play with PC too. We'll all be on the same servers. So, what do you think? As a recap, no more gacha. All characters and weapons are free, no more stamina system, farm as much as you want. Monetization, exclusively from skins now and cosmetics with no pay-to-win mechanics. Farming can now target exactly what you want, whenever you want. Better parkour, aesthetics, and mobile improvements. Co-op for everything, for everyone, but only if you want to. The power is in your hands in how you want to play. DNA releases on October 28th, 2025. I'll be there. Will you? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. That'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.